What up, Bucs fans? We are live here after a Buccaneers victory over the Dallas Cowboys. They won 19-3. I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always my co-host Mark Ramirez. Mark, it was a game of pretty much in control for the Buccaneers. They pretty much controlled it the whole way. Just couldn't really get into the end zone often, but they did move the ball up and down the field and did a lot of good things throughout.
Yeah, I mean, this is a prototypical good road win. I mean, if you think about it, you're in a stadium that's filled with 100,000 fans. They were loud. They were out there. They were trying to charge on the beating of Tom Brady his supposed last year, and they wanted to win. It doesn't matter if they're undermanned or anything. Week one, everyone's full bore. You're as healthy as you can be, let alone Gallup not playing. They traded away Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. I mean, the thing is, they didn't have weapons. They had an injured offensive line. They did the best they could. They still kind of limited us in some fashion, but with some of that, just our offense not having the game reps, that's something we talked about texting back and forth. Or was it the fact that we're just that good of a team? We held this. This is the number one offense last year,
Mhm.
3 points in their own house. I know I mentioned some weapons that are gone. Their offensive line's hurt, but guess what? Our offensive line was supposed to suck ass. And I made a comment to someone in the comment section saying, "Call me crazy, but I may say that this offensive line may be better at the end of the year than it was at ever in any time with Tom Brady." And we'll expand on that more, but I think it's a
Mhm.
great road game, gritty win. I mean, I was waiting for that touchdown. Finally came. Why the hell did you use Mike Evans more in the red zone? I don't know. ISO matchups. This is literally what we do best. But either way, great win. We're 1-0. And let's move on over to the Saints, but let's talk about the damn Cowboys. What do you think a little bit more in depth?
Yeah, like you said, I thought it was there's a lot of good things tonight. Obviously, the defense played smart.
Hell yeah.
They played very effective. Didn't try to do too much. Guys were in the right spots. And you saw the pass rush continue to get better as the game went on. The sacks continued to come in the second half. And they did what they had to. And then the offense, I thought, was moving the ball consistently. We're running it very well. Doing a lot of different things with play action. Julio Jones looked good. And like you said, the offensive line did their job as far as, giving Tom Brady enough time. Yeah, there was a couple instances where we gave up a couple sacks. You just got to hope Donovan Smith is okay. He went down
Yeah.
with an injury, and you lose, Chris Godwin again to a hamstring injury. Just hope, it's nothing severe. But hopefully we can get those guys back. But let's take a look at the stats. You look at it here. 19-3 is your final. Tom Brady was 18 of 27, 212 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Again, a very efficient night, not too shabby. You look at Dak Prescott, on the other hand, 14 of 29, 134 yards, one interception, two sacks. I mean, that's a pretty good job by your defense. But here's the big number right here. Look at the team rushing attempts, 33 rushing attempts versus 27 passes. That is what we've been talking about. That's what we've been talking about as far as committing to the run. And I mean, just talk about Leonard Fournette's performance, 21 carries, 127 yards. That's a pretty good job.
I mean, that's something kind of we're telling prior to this. Like the sum up last week, I was like, no, we need to start running the ball, get the damn ball out of the hands of Tom Brady, 45-year-old. This shouldn't be in his hands every damn game, especially in a game like this on the road. It's got to be gritty. The fact that Kyle Rudolph was in a healthy scratch and you started Keefe and Old Otten over him, the better blockers, that's telling to me. That means that we want to run the ball a lot more. And look at that, only 27 pass attempts by Tom Brady. I said around 25. Boom, there it is. It's 33 carries. That is nuts. And we made the video about Fournette. He signed a 3-year deal. This could be an opportunity for him to actually break records in the Tampa Bay Buccaneer record books, like for leading rusher, leading just a guy. We don't really have great rushers. It's not even a 6,000-yard rusher, and this guy gets 127 first game, barely 21 carries. Look at that. I love it. I mean, this is hopefully what this team's going to look like. A team that can run the ball when they need to tire out the other team. They only scored 3 points. I want to know what the time of possession is. Where's that at, too?
Yeah, it's probably down here, but we'll go through it. And again, for Dallas, they had, Ezekiel Elliott was probably their best player tonight on offense. He had 10 carries for 52 yards, but again, nothing to really hurt you from an offensive standpoint. And then you look at our receiving guys. Obviously, Mike Evans leads the way with 5 catches, 71 yards, a touchdown. Julio Jones, that's really nice to see. Three catches for 69 yards. Could have had more potential. There was a couple other passes that were just a little bit off the mark from Tom Brady, but again, that's something they can work on. Chris Godwin started this game out with a bang with the the big catch on the screen for a nice gain of 24 yards. It's unfortunately went out with the hamstring, so hopefully he's can come back soon. Russell Gage, 2 catches, 13 yards on 2 targets. Wasn't really featured in this game. And then you look at the guys they had. We talked about Dalton Schultz as far as an option for them. 7 catches, led the way. CD Lamb didn't really do much. He had 11 targets and only 2 catches. I mean,
what's that say?
It says a lot about your defense. And Antoine Winfield Jr. was on him a lot in the slot.
He was following him.
Yeah, a lot in the slot and did a hell of a job for pretty much his first time playing that nickel position. That was pretty impressive, and got an interception. So I guess we can, unless you have anything else you want to say. I mean, obviously Julio had a great game, and Mike Evans as well.
Oh, there's a lot to say there, though. I mean, Mike Evans being used inside the 20, that's what he needs to be done. Doing 10 times out of 10. Second we get inside the 20, start getting him the ball. I mean, he has 20 touchdowns since 2018. Most in the NFL in that span. Keep doing it. It's obviously working. Julio Jones, what a freaking threat. The dude just keeps going. He opens up guys underneath, and then if you don't double cover him over the top, Brady's going to find him. It's just pick your poison. And guess what? He had time to throw the ball. So it's a lot of it's just more getting the reps together. That we mentioned earlier, did they have enough reps together during live game action? That's probably what happened inside the red zones, why it looked like crap today, because this score could have been ugly. I joked with you saying it could have been 35-3 at one point.
Yeah,
like all these field goals, that one that we missed, but the most that we put together, were inside the 20 every damn time. So the red zone offense needs to get better, but overall, to me in this game, the defense was fantastic. I mean, look at that, 11 targets to Lamb. He gets 2 catches. That's nuts. Antoine Winfield Jr. playing the nickel, like you were saying, locked it down, and you would see him following Lamb all over the place, which was crazy to see. And for doing it in his first live game action, like consistently like that, was awesome. And then Devin White with the 2 sacks. He's in it. If he keeps getting opportunities like that, especially against Jameis next week, 10-sack season could very well be likely for Devin White.
Yeah, I thought he played a very good game. Could have had a pick 6 as well. I thought the linebacker play was really good. I thought Levante, again, he had another opportunity for an interception. And you saw, Antoine Winfield get his pick. But yeah, just really good play overall by the defense. Shaq Barrett was in a lot on pressures, especially in that second half. Anthony Nelson, Vita Vea gets a sack. So they ended up with, I believe, 4 sacks on the day. And really played a solid game. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka was really active, especially in the first half. He had a lot of good pressures there to force Dak Prescott out of the pocket. So he did some good things. There were some good things by Logan Hall. And you look at, the Cowboys defense, obviously Micah Parsons was still their best player with, 2 sacks. But yeah, it was just a really good game, clean game by the defense overall, and they just did their job. And offense did enough where didn't really make any mistakes. The only mistake was the one by Tom Brady, where he threw it right to the guy. But it was a really good game, and again, a good win, 1-0. I guess I want to point out our tight ends. I thought Cade Otton and Ko Keefe were outstanding, especially in the run game. And we talked about it, how this dynamic is going to be different with the personnel that they brought in. You saw Shaq Mason. He was just outstanding and run blocking and getting out in front and, setting things up, Tristan Wirfs, et cetera. So, yeah, I'm really excited about what they can bring.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, like a healthy scratch for Kyle Rudolph, just because of our rookie blockers are that damn good, and it is telling. I mean, the fact that you know what you want to do as a game plan on offense is to start running the ball a little bit more, getting the ball out of the hands of Tom Brady, even though he's the best decision maker. But guess what? Getting the ball out of his hands isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's getting more of a team game, more balanced for your offense, not having Tom Brady play hero ball all the time. And that's what they did a lot. And that's huge that you hear what was going on in the offseason carrying over to the season. And I actually looked it up. The time of possession wasn't crazy. It's 32 minutes for the Bucs and 27 for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the defense, this is yards per play per pass attempt. The Bucs were 6.7. Cowboys were 3.8.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and it's a low number for the Bucs. Usually the Bucs are usually close to 9 to 10 per pass attempt, around that number, or at least 8, I want to say. But again, that's stuff they can work on and fix. A lot of people are talking about this play. Lenny with the big block on Micah Parsons really took him out, and that set up the big catch by Julio Jones. That's the kind of stuff that this team will have to do. Especially if Donovan Smith's going to be out for any extended period of time. You're hoping it's just a minor elbow injury and he'll be okay. Just got to hope there's no structural damage to it. But yeah, I mean, overall, I was really pleased with a lot of things. I just like the overall philosophy of how they went about this. And it wasn't really like, oh, let's just run it consistently on, first and second down. It was a good mixture of how they ran it. I was really impressed with, they did different types of runs, end arounds, running out of shotgun. So yeah, physical attack on both sides. And that's what we're going to, I think, expect, especially as we go into next week against New Orleans. You're going to have to be more physical. And I thought they did that very well.
Physicality was huge. I mean, you mentioned the 2 tight ends, 2 rookies. Yeah, I saw a lot of Cade Otton leading the pack, but also O'Keefe, we're going to do a shit ton of little shorts of just these guys blocking. I mean, O'Keefe doesn't get enough recognition for just running into people, opening lanes, but he did so much. Or even Cade Otton on the blocked Parsons that saved, that could have potentially been another big gainer to Julio Jones in the corner. But Brady was a little bit off. But still, like, these guys are doing the little things right. And blocking is a huge little thing when it comes to getting plays down the field. And O'Keefe, Cade Otton, thank you very much so. That's why you're getting the playing time over, not to mention a pretty damn good veteran in Kyle Rudolph. But, I mean, offensively, this is how you win games. Don't get mad that we didn't score 30 points. Yeah, everyone wants to see Tom Brady throw over 500 yards and break records and do all that. I just want to win. I guarantee Mike Evans, even though he got a touchdown, 71 yards, that was kind of late, he didn't cry. He didn't complain. He's like the ultimate professional pro that just wants to win. And guess what? They got a 1 on the right side of the line, I guess, on this one, and they're on to the next one. This is how you learn how to win. Like, it's not just having to throw the ball all the time. Teams got to worry about our running game now. You know how much that opens up for the rest of the team? I mean, look out, considering you have Gage, who was barely used this game. I'm anxious to see what the hell this offense can be. The fact that they can win in different ways. It's almost like a Patriots offense when Brady was there.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know who was going to go off. You know who they're going to run for a lot. They're going to pass for a lot. This is good. I mean, Todd Bowles' first game as a head coach, loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And Mark, you're getting a lot of props for your new setup there in the garage. They're really digging it. So, yeah, Mark's out of his garage tonight. Again, it's a late Sunday night, and he's got the kids in the bedrooms. So gotta do what you gotta do, and
Hey,
Mark's a team player.
hell yeah! I mean, if y'all could see the setup though, I'm staring at I told Plus like a 65-inch TV. I don't know why the hell I put this in the garage. Okay, guys, but I mean everything is behind me. It can be cleaned up, but it's a process, guys. I mean we're growing as you guys keep growing with us, and I wish I had my diplomas and shit in the backfield, but I got Winfield and Brady. They're holding me up strong. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, very good, very good. Let's see. I'm just going through the comments here. Again, appreciate everyone in the chat. Much appreciated to you guys. We appreciate all the support. Obviously, it feels great to get a Buccaneers win. So do us all a favor. Be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below what you thought of the game. Hit that subscribe if you're new in here. We much appreciate it. So thank you so much. But
And before we
everyone,
keep going,
yeah,
everyone's in the chat, like Krillin, Ken Smith, I mean, TB12 Goatman, Bucks Time 12, like all these guys who always are consistently here. Thank you for always being here, and guys who are new, keep joining in. I mean, as we say, like we only grow as you guys continue to add to value to the show. I mean, we only could talk so much. You guys are the ones asking questions, and we kind of respond to them and make us think a little bit more into it. And when we break down the video, your questions, your opinions kind of matter to us big time, and we'll break it down even more because of that. And this is the fun time of the season where we actually get to break down live game action. Like we mentioned, the blocks, they were legit for us. You're going to see, and anything you kind of bring to the table, we're going to throw out there too. And it's going to be one hell of a season. And to see this first game as a win, well, even better. So, guys, thank you very much for being part of the show.
yeah, I echo that sentiment, and a lot of people are agreeing with what we've been talking about, and that's running the damn ball. As you see here, run the damn ball. It's really good, and even brings it back up. We need to do the same thing against the Saints. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be, I think, a big time emphasis. Run the ball is good. Yep. Yeah. I mean, you could just see how they were just more. It was a methodical, executed game plan where they weren't trying to force anything. I thought the plays were there. Even the misplays. I thought all the misplays there was opportunities to be made. So when you look back at it, this is only things they can get better at, and it's little details that they have to fix. Protection, Hainsey going over to help get a key on the double team, guys running the precise routes, and Brady just being a little bit more accurate. You could kind of tell there was a little bit of rust there because he hasn't really got a lot of snaps, live game reps, I should say, with these guys. So there's a little bit of timing issues, but as you saw, they could still get it done, and they got the win. That's what matters. Again, this is not college football where you need style points. It's just about getting the win, and they did what they had to. And defense did their job and pretty much dominated like we thought they would, because when you look at the Dallas's offense, they weren't going to be able to do much. I mean, there just wasn't much for them to find ways to attack us. They didn't really have anything besides the two we mentioned, CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz. But other than that, there was just nothing where they could stretch our defense out and make us pay.
I mean, I agree with you on a lot of points. I mean, before when we did the preview, we're talking about how I said we should run the ball a lot, run the ball. I mean, get the ball out of the hands of Brady. You're like, let's go into let's spread the damn whole offense out. Let's go 4 wide. Let's just do this. I was like, shit, bless. They did both, though. They did both, but yeah, they gave a more of a huge commitment to running the ball, which we should.
Right.
We were the way that, again, the offensive line, the whole worries about that. I stand on my sentiment from earlier in the show. Like, they have the potential to be better. Like, I'll break it down this way. The game felt like the late 90s Bucs with Dilfer. He's not wrong. Coach Daddy, I mean, he's not wrong at all. Like, it felt like at any moment the other team could come back, but we're slowly in control. It was odd. Like, when it was, 9-3 and, like, shit. I felt like One score and they're right there and they lead. I'm like, God, what? Come on. And
Yeah.
15-3. I mean, or whatever, 12-3. I
Yeah.
was like, come
Yeah.
on. But still, to me, the offensive line, I'll break it down this way. When I look back at last year's tape, Kappa did not look good at all to me. And the fact that they let him go, didn't even try and sign him back, and he's already not looking good with the Bengals. But we bring back an improved, an upgrade in that position in Shaq Mason. Massive upgrade. And then you look over at the center position. You drafted Hainsey last year to eventually take over for Jensen because they didn't know if Jensen was going to sign back.
Yeah.
Again, could be potentially an improvement. He's a technician, but he just doesn't have the experience or the grit or, I guess, anger or the mentality that Jensen had. And then Luke Gedeke, said it correct that time. He honestly is a technician, was it glass eater or whatever the hell he calls himself.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, the interior is more athletic, more in tune technically than they were in the past. And I think they have potential to get better. Will they be? This first game shows they can run block. Hell yeah. The run pass blocking, because of the run game, was that much better. I think they just need to keep moving forward doing that. But I need to stop talking about the offensive line. Let's talk more about this defense that freaking showed out and only allowed 3 points. 3 points in the first quarter, and then goose egg the rest of the game. Nuts.
Yeah, defense was pretty stellar outside of that first drive by Dallas. There's a couple things where I think they were just playing a little hesitant, but once they started locking down and starting to become a little bit more aggressive, they really turned it on. And I think Dallas only had like one more first down after like a few series after that in that first half. So yeah, really shut it down after giving up the 3 points early. Did a lot of good things. I thought Akeem Hicks did good things. Vita Vea, JTS had a really good first half. I felt even some good things in the second half. But really, I was just impressed overall with like the play of Antoine Winfield. The corners, Jamel Dean and Davis were active, like really active with their hands. And the linebacker play was also active.
Yeah.
I mean, Levante and Devin probably could have had picks tonight and, just couldn't make the play on the ball. So that says a lot. Like there's a lot of opportunities to get interceptions. And I believe, we just had the one tonight. So still very, very good. Very good for the defense.
Yeah, jumping on what you were saying, there was one where we sent in the blitz. Devin White and I believe David went in. So everyone in the middle was gone. On the outsides, you were on an island. And even Collinsworth was like, you've got to complete this pass. I mean, it's either Davis is that good or it was a bad pass. I think it was Davis was that good. And they were trying to challenge him on the outside, and it just couldn't happen. Yeah, he may have gotten away with a couple of little pulls and tugs here and there. That's football. I mean, we can bitch and complain about flags all day, but it matters what happens consistently on the field. And he did the same thing over and over, and refs were like, "Okay, fine, that's football for me today, at least." So the defense overall, fantastic. Your outside corners played well. To me, I wanted more from JTS. I mean, considering the attention Hicks, Vita Vea would have gotten inside, I wanted to see a little bit more. Shaq, I thought he would have been able to take advantage of the rookie left tackle a little bit more, even though he did get in a lot. And people in the chat were saying like Dak's mediocre and stuff. Dak got the ball out really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the times where he did hold it, the pressure got there and he had to throw it away, or it was a really bad pass. Like that was the interception. He held it too long, and Anthony Nelson, sack, held it too long, interception. Like the times that he did hold it, he made a bad mistake, but when he got the ball out really fast and with how the system's supposed to work, it looked annoying because they would pick up little first down. And that's part of the Bucs' weakness, I guess, the quick passing game that Drew Brees did nonstop in New Orleans. And we talk about that a lot. But the thing is, if you have to hold it at all against us, you're usually either going down or you're going to make a bad decision. So that's why I wanted more from Shaq and JTS on the outside. Like you're getting one-on-ones all the time. I want you to win. And yeah, with the lesser tackles they're facing, I thought they would have gotten a lot more pressure than what they did.
Yeah, no, agreed. And Yeah, they were smart, and again, Todd Bowles, I thought, did a great job of not blitzing too much, especially in
Yeah.
the first half. He really tried to win with their front four, and they did a good enough job, to cause things where it made it tough on Dallas. And then in the second half, he kind of mixed it up a lot with the zone blitzes and the pressures, and changing things up. So that was really nice. Wow, that's crazy. So
Is that true?
Dak Prescott might be out. Um, wow, surgery. That's crazy. So I guess something happened to his wrist or
Shaq.
forearm. Yeah, from Shaq Barrett. So, man, Dallas gets a tough injury blow. Just gotta hope for the Buccaneers' sake that you know Donovan
Chris
Smith
Godwin. I don't know.
and Chris Godwin are okay, and hopefully they can come back sometime soon. If Josh Wells is going to be the left tackle into next week's game, then let's just do a lot of the same that we kind of did tonight. Run, help him with chip blocks on the outside with Kate Otten. Really, I would just have Kate Otten be your left tackle if it was me. Just slide protection towards that way, and you have an extra guy blocking. But yeah, that should be interesting. Hopefully those guys can come back. But this was a really good win. I was really impressed with it. It's just a different type of win. If this team was like a couple years ago, we probably don't win this game. Just with the guys that we have now, and they're more experienced and just better suited to run this defense, I feel, and guys are in the right position. You didn't see really anybody out of position. Like there
Yeah.
wasn't anybody running wide open, and that was a good thing. And tackling was pretty solid too, as well.
Yeah, I want to talk more on that because, like, every time we always talk on the offense, oh, they did this, or
Mhm.
got to open up underneath, got to open up over top. And look at the defense. Let's take this 2 years back when our Super Bowl run where we lost to the Bears during the regular season. Everyone's like, we suck. Why is Shaq Barrett dropping back? Why is Vita Vea dropping back? When you understand what the hell they're trying to do within the defense, like what is Todd Bowles asking them to do? Why the hell's your best pass rusher dropping back? You understand why. I mean, if you're dropping him back, someone else is going in. It's not like they're just dropping Vita Vea and Shaq back for no damn random reason. Usually it's because Jamel Dean or Carlton Davis is coming in on a corner blitz. They usually have 4 guys coming in at all times. So it's not necessarily a blitz. It's just more 4 different rushers, which is cool. And this is why Todd Bowles' defense is insane. And quarterbacks have a tough time reading it because there's guys coming in that it's not a blitz. It's just 4 different characters. And there's a fat 6'5", 350-pound man in the way. And that's not normal for me. So the quarterback has to think twice. Same thing happened to Tom Brady. Like, he didn't expect that guy to be there because he wasn't supposed to drop back, right?
Yeah.
So that's the question marks that come about. But the thing is, when you find a little weakness where, okay, a 6'7", 280-pound man like Anthony Nelson can't cover a spot that well, but he just takes up space. If he finds a way to kind of get it over the top of him or around him, yeah, you can get to 5 yards, but it's not going to be 20, 30, a touchdown usually. And that's the big thing. Take away the big shots, but give me a little 5, 5, 5. I'll allow you to give a 3. I'm just not going to give up a touchdown. And that's what they did today. Like, it was nuts. Like, times where you're like, shit. Oh, never mind. It's just 3. I can live with that. And that's what the defense should be. And then the opportunity where you're not expecting an offense to execute on 3 times, get a first down, 3 times, get a first down. Usually there's going to be a mistake. If your defense is being assignment sound, you're going to make up for that. I mean, look at Levante getting his hands on the ball, tipping in the air. Jamel Dean and Carl Davis almost get an interception. Like, Devin White almost intercepting that running back. They're just getting in their zones, and I like that lock down the red zone because you're in your assignment. You know where you're supposed to be. Things are happening a lot faster. The defense doesn't have anywhere else to worry about. It's just right in front of them. So the defense played extremely damn well. They don't get enough credit for it, and that's something we talked about. The defense will likely carry the offense for the offensive line to get in sync, and then when that happens, look out, NFL.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the defense is just they understand where they have to be. The experience is there, like you're talking about, guys in the right spots. and the offense is going to come around. I'm not really worried about the offense. I thought they did a ton of good things. Like you said, we could have had 30 points tonight if they would have just made a little bit more execution down there in the red zone, maybe did a little bit different things. But the plays were there to be made. It's just figuring out the protections and, got to give credit to the Cowboys as well. Micah Parsons is one hell of a dude. He's hard to stop, and he got his sack. So you knew he was going to get pressure. He did that. So you got to give them credit as well. They get paid, too, to make these plays. But I do want to shout out real quick the special teams because we didn't really hear about them, and that's a good thing. They did their job. They did coverage. I thought the punter was really good. Did good things, and Suck Up again. He was consistent. Obviously, you don't want to see him miss a 38-yarder, but other than that, it was a really good job by them. K. Dotton again, love that guy. I'm gonna have to get his. I'm gonna have to get his jersey because he had a couple of special teams tackles and he was just blocking all night. Crazy, great performance by him.
Yeah, I mean, break down the special teams. Like Britt was a man on fire.
Right, to start the game.
If there was a special teams kickoff or punt, he was usually the guy to make the tackle. Like he was right there the second he was caught, almost. And look at Camarda's numbers: 3 punts, 152 yards, 1 touchback, 2 inside the 20, and one of them long was a 63. We got ourselves a punter, guys. That's nuts. And even on the kickoffs, he on purposely seemed like he was kicking it for him to return it, but the airtime on the damn kick was insane.
Yeah.
Like they were already at the 20 when the guy caught it. It was nuts. And then there was a holding on Britt, or someone who was holding Britt that pushed them back. They brought it back to the 28 and it got pushed back to the 18. Like our special teams was doing the damn job. And credit to Jason Light again, knowing that we have enough guys in there, so let's get rid of this linebacker, pick up some draft capital, and keep moving forward. And clearly, it's working. Okay, it's just one game sample size, but overall, it looked phenomenal. Besides the one missed kick, which was the shortest damn kick he missed. Like, I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good job by them, so I was impressed. I thought they did, everything right. There's a lot of good things. So, yeah, pretty much a complete game by the Buccaneers, just outside of the, the red zone issues for the offense. Obviously, you don't want to settle for field goals. You want to get touchdowns. So there's just, some things here. But I was impressed. I thought the offensive line, they did enough. Brady is still alive. He's not hurt. He's good. He made it through the game. And for the most part, he had time on a lot of those passes, which is great to see. And the run game, the balance, controlling the ball. Yeah, could we have been maybe a little bit more aggressive at times? Sure. But they did what the smart team does and controlling the game, because really the game was never in doubt. I mean, when you really look at it, there was really never a point where I was like, oh, Dallas scares me here. No, like it was just controlled well and it was played well by the team. And now you're 1-0 and you get better. And again, that's what this season's about. It's not about being all-stars at the beginning of the year. No one is. Like, you want to continue to gradually build as you get into November, December, get into the playoffs. That's when you want to start peaking. And that's what I feel like, this team is trying to slowly build everything. And if you can start off strong running the football and that can be your strength, it's just going to set up the passing game that much more.
I agree fully with that. I mean, I still can't believe we ran the ball 33 times.
Yeah.
That is nuts. But to that, you can run now. You're definitely going to be able to pass later.
Mm-hmm.
The worry, I wonder, people in the chat, everyone in the chat, were you genuinely worried about the offensive line? Was this a media kind of thing thrown upon you, or were you guys truly worried about the offensive line? I mean, you have your 2 bookends. Now you lose Donovan Smith. If we're going against the Saints without Donovan Smith, I'm worried. I'm going to flat out say that.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was a forearm injury. Hopefully not a fracture. Hopefully just a bad bruise.
Yeah.
But let's see, because he was falling down. The guy just kneeled him in the arm. Like it looked odd. So hopefully not too bad. They were putting like a brace on his wrist. So usually to me it's like forearm issue. But
yeah, I'm hoping it's the same. I'm hoping
yeah,
it's not a big deal. At first when I saw him get hit, I thought it was like a hyperextension of his knee, because his knee kind of like his leg jumped up a little bit. But yeah, it could be, like you said, wrist, forearm. So hopefully not a fracture and everything's structurally good so he can come back.
yeah, I'll see in the chat. So everyone's saying, let's see, worried. Was not worried. Jason Light can draft offensive lineman. Yeah, Jordan Durrell, I agree with 100%. No Smith. I'm more than worried. BS. Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of this takes.
Yeah.
I was worried about not having Allie in the run game.
Jordan says, he's going to come back. He's usually doesn't miss games. So yeah, that's a great point. He's as tough as they come. So I'm sure he'll be back in there. JC Allen, good to see you, man. Keep up the great work at Pew Report. I know you guys got shows coming up or probably on right now as well.
Yeah, there's no rest over there either.
No resting.
But the thing is, like, if he has a fracture, I wouldn't necessarily make him play. But he's going to have to rest that, or it's just going to stay like that for weeks.
Yeah.
The thing is, like when you face the Saints, they're going to exploit weaknesses. They exploited Kappa. They're going to exploit Josh Wells. I mean, this is what they're going to do. They're a smart team, even though they almost lost to the Falcons today. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
They had to rely on a last-second field goal to win the game, a deep-ass field goal to be exact. So I think James got sacked 4 times. He didn't throw in 4 interceptions. Hopefully he's holding that for next week.
Yeah, definitely. No, you're right, JC Allen. No rest for week 1 fantasy winners. JC did beat me in fantasy football in a league that we're in together.
Plus, you shit the bed.
Yeah, I messed up. He got the edge. His guys play better than mine, that's for sure today. Joe Burrow definitely hurt me with the 4 interceptions, so it didn't go well. And then I had a couple injuries, but again, no excuses. Play like a champion. JC Allen, he got the job done. But again, it's only week 1. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Damn.
But yeah, really excited. I'm glad we got this win. It was a huge win because, as we know, the schedule gets harder. You got the Saints coming up, Green Bay, even though Green Bay didn't look good today either. Yeah. And then you have Kansas City, who just scored points everywhere on
44 to be exact. And I won because I have Patrick Mahomes and Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, there you go.
My league, so
that's 8 touchdowns right there. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, it
was fancy.
It was fancy. But yeah, it's tough games coming up. So we just got to hope we can get healthy and these guys can continue to work out, the little details that need to be fixed. But I'm really excited with the direction. This is something we've talked about over the offseason, how committing to running the football, playing more physical style of a brand, and using your strengths. We talked about it. Offensive line is better run blocking. And what did they do? They ran the ball. And that's the name of the game. You play to your strengths, use play action, which they did in this game as well. And a lot of good things came off of that. So I was really impressed with the different formations. We saw Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette in at the same time, which was cool. Didn't really amount to anything, but it was just cool to have them in there at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the different formations are allowed because how many times we use 2 tight end sets. I mean, I know Keith kind of goes as a fullback / tight end. Mm-hmm. But those rookies were in there a lot. I mean, that should be a video in itself right there, like how they use the rookie tight end that they just drafted. Like that is nuts. You're putting that much value in these 2 rookies to save Tom Brady, to give him a little bit more time to throw these weapons, or to give Lenny his room to run. That is huge to me. You're putting a lot of value into two rookies, like to complete an offense. That is huge, and for Leftwich to actually call that game like that, yeah, like we discussed, they need to clean up the inside the red zone because this game could have been ugly early, and it did not, and didn't need to be this stressful. But it's the first game. He came out with a victory, but moving forward, we know what we need to clean up. We still won. There was no glaring mistakes besides one Tom Brady making a dumb mental error. Other than that, there was no mental errors. I didn't see many flags called our way. We didn't give up many. I mean, the only sacks were Josh Wells, to be honest. Like, I think the 2 sacks Chandler Parsons got were against Josh Wells.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
think
right.
that was it. And so that's not necessarily our intact offensive line. Hopefully Donovan Smith comes back and people value how good this damn guy really is. So I mention his name probably at least once or twice every live stream. Because for some reason people hate him. I don't understand. But
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the team stats here real quick. I mean,
yeah,
this shows it all. I mean, 18 first downs for the Buccaneers offense, 9 by passing, 9 by rushing. Can't get much more balance than that, which is really cool to see. Again, you would like to see the third down efficiency be a little bit better, 5 of 14. But you look at the Cowboys, they weren't better. They were 3 of 15, 2 of 5 on fourth down. Look at that total play, 62 to 64, and you still
wow.
outgained them by over 100 yards, 347 to 244. And you said this earlier, 5.6 yards per play,
Yeah.
only 3.8 yards for Dallas. That's very impressive. Really good job. Total rushing, 152 yards. That's usually going to win you ball games every time, every week. It usually is going to point you in a direction where if you're not winning, you're going to be right there to win the game. And then penalties. That's really good.
5 for 25.
Yeah, 5 for 25, 10 for the Cowboys.
One
Turnover
of them was
battle.
bullshit. I mean, Shaq
Yeah.
Barrett jumped the route, jumped
Yeah.
the snap at the 0-second mark, but it was a false or offside. It's bullshit.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. And
But
then obviously here's the biggest one. Inside the red zone, you want to be a little bit more efficient. One of 3
yeah,
and convert more of those chances. And look at the Cowboys got 0 opportunities. That just
Cowboys.
shows you defense was dominant. They didn't even
Yeah.
allow them to get inside the red zone tonight, which as a Buccaneers fan and watching this defense, even with Todd Bowles here, I don't think we've been able to say that quite often. So it's very impressive by what they did. And also shows with the additions of like Logan Ryan. And I know Logan Ryan didn't get his name called a lot, but that means he was in the right spot. He was playing free safety a ton tonight and means he was doing his job and making sure things were covered downfield.
Actually, plus, can you bring up Jordan Durr's comment he recently put up? You see it in there?
Yes.
I have no control today, guys. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about SMB or
Yes,
about?
that one.
Okay.
I'm glad we I'm glad we finally called a spade about certain personnel. Gave OJ, Rojo, JPP, SMB too many chances. So OJ, Rojo, JPP aren't on the team right now. SMB is currently on the team. Did y'all see him at all on the field? Did he record a statistical category? Sean Murphy Bunting? No, he did not. So the truth of Jamel Dean winning the outside corner, and it was a close thing. I honestly don't even remember him being on the field. I want to know his number of snaps because in the slot it almost was primarily Winfield in there. I know we're saying he did a great job following CeeDee Lamb, but I honestly don't even remember seeing SMB on the field, and that's huge. Saying that a guy that was battling for supposedly an outside spot is no longer even playing at all. How do you feel about that? Everyone in the chat too, give you your 2 cents.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Best players are going to be on the field, and Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis are I think a level above what Sean Murphy Bunting can give you as far as corner. And then the way Winfield played in the slot, there's not much room. There's really no reason to bring SMB in there. Damien's saying he was out there on special
Yeah.
teams. So that will be his
Okay.
role. And, will he get opportunities in other games? Maybe. It just depends on the matchups. Maybe SMB is a better fit to cover a different receiver that Antoine Winfield can't do or can't go up against in the slot because of his attributes or what that guy brings. So, yeah, it just remains to be seen, but I like it. I think that's a good thing. JPP, the other names you mentioned, all those guys they had something that was holding them back. OJ Howard, it was the mental aspect of his game, being in the right spots, being focused, making the consistent plays, play in, play out. Rojo, same thing. Can't pass protect, you're not going to be on the field. Or can't catch the ball, you're not going to be on the field. And then JPP was just breaking down in body. His body
Yeah.
was not there. And you could see with JTS and the other guys out there, there was just more effort as far as being around the football. The energy was always good. So that was really a positive sign.
Yeah, and to my credit, I kind of slightly bashed JTS just because he didn't get a sack or that many, but he still was in on a lot of pressures. Like some people, either Dak Prescott got rid of the ball fast or someone else got a sack. But assignment sound, he was. If it was in the running game, he was filling his gap or his edge. If it was in the passing game, he would drop back and cover a guy. Like I don't have many negative things to say. I just expected a little bit more out of him. But I mean, expectations are one thing and reality is another. He did his job, and maybe this game just didn't fall to his thing. Like same thing with Devin White last year. Everyone expected him to break out with like 10 sacks plus, and it just didn't happen. And it's just what they were asking him to do. He was covering the flats. Maybe it was to take away Zeke and Pollard. Maybe next game it's the same thing because Kamara, but Devin White can cover that. Levante can cover that. Maybe this is part of this new defensive wrinkle, like having your edge rushers kind of do that and find Hicks and Vita Vea to kind of get that push up in the A gaps where Devin White and Levante can eat. We'll see. Maybe it's going to change every week to week, but I don't know. Like I just wanted to see more. I guess it's more the fan in me to see more out of JTS, but overall, there's no negative for what he did.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, it was a very solid effort, a great effort by the defense, and this is the kind of defense that they can play week in, week out. I really believe that because you have the players, you have the players to do it. It's just about being in the right spots, doing your job, and being assignment sound. And they did that very good at a very high level, executed well. And of course, it'll get tougher. They're going to play better offenses, or I should say, better offensive personnel than they did tonight. Dallas is very short-handed. Don't really have a lot of guys that they can throw at you, especially with Michael Gallup out. Now we get to play the Saints. Saints have some weapons. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave look good. Big one's going to be Alvin Kamara. You got to shut down the run game. You can do that. I think you can force Jameis into a lot of bad decisions, and he had a couple today that he didn't get tagged with because the Falcons didn't make the play. But it'll be an interesting game for sure. You'll see how that plays. But with that said, I want to bring this back up because we have a bunch of you guys in here. We appreciate all the support.
Oh yeah.
Be sure to hit that like button, comment down below what you think of tonight's game, and subscribe. If you're new in here, we appreciate the subscription. Check out our content. We're going to have plenty of content coming up, throughout the next couple of days, especially on this game, but also in preparation for next Sunday's game as well. So 24/7 Buccaneers content pretty much here going forward. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Not much sleep for us, but we love it. So it's going to be awesome to talk about weekly.
Hey, it's Buck football season. The wife, she's asleep. The kids are asleep. It's time to talk some Buccaneer football. And yeah, Ken Smith said it. Hit the like button. He also asked, are we going to do live streams every game night? We're going to try to. That's our new little format we're going to try and do. We should have said it probably earlier in the during the off season, but
surprise.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. If you're here in the chat, which a lot of you are, come back. I mean, we're going to try and do this after every game. This is where it's more emotional, more impactful. And yeah, we do this film breakdown throughout the week. But that's more when calm minds are. We want the hecticness. We want the emotional factor. I want to hear what you guys have to say, like how bad our guy's doing or how good someone is doing in relation to everything else. Because, like, look how bad the Packers look. I mean, how many times have you seen Aaron Rodgers say, relax, don't worry, it's just game one. You don't win the Super Bowl week one. It's how you become, like you said, later in the season. So, yeah, early on, we may be facing these teams in a good time for us. Because to be honest, a lot of our guys have been in the system for years. We're not really counting on rookies for big vital parts besides blocking right now. So if we face Jameis, technically it's his first full year starting under the Saints still.
Yeah.
Good thing. Michael Thomas coming back, even though it looked great, got 2 touchdowns against a subpar team in the Falcons. They didn't expect to be that way, but again, it was on the road. So let's see. I mean, this is a good thing that we're going to face them. Jameis didn't really beat us. It was just him running around. There was nothing in this defense in this way. I'm really excited for our chances. And then the week after, you got the Packers playing how they are playing. No receiver to be named. They're missing Devontae Adams. And then, Kansas City. Everyone's already probably going to chalk that up as a loss, but you never know. I mean, it's a week-to-week league. Either way, it's lining up kind of beneficial for the Bucs in that way because if they don't get it figured out, we just got to figure out little things in the red zone. We're still moving the ball.
Right.
That's huge. We move the ball every damn possession. We only had 3 punts, and some of those were just in the fourth quarter because we're like, we won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, just running the clock out.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, no, definitely is, and I was just impressed with the just overall game plan. I thought it was really good. And again, Buccaneers win tonight, 19-3. They are 1-0. Our predictions so far are correct. We said the Bucs would win, so got that one right. Next week, I believe we picked the Bucs to win again. So hopefully we can make that 2-0 against the Saints and get a win finally against them. Obviously that I think that's going to be important for this team, and I just can't wait to see this new dynamic. And I really hope this run game continues to get better and they continue to commit to it and utilize the play action because play action works for this team so much. Like it seems like it's always open when they call play action. Usually a good thing happens, and we saw that tonight. That usually was the case. So got to continue to do things. Even saw a bootleg from Tom Brady, even though that was incomplete to Julio Jones downfield. That was nice. That was really good to finally get that into fruition.
And seeing Julio Jones on end arounds, seeing his speed, like this is Julio Jones that's on the Buccaneers. Like at some points, like even Chris Collinsworth was saying it, like this is Julio Jones at full speed, full health, and it's great to see. And I think he was clocked as the fastest Buccaneer player in training camp this year. Huge. Like this guy, and this is your second or third receiver. Gage was barely used. They haven't opened anything up yet. And as these guys grow together and learn, look the hell out. I mean, they should have just been doing more in the red zone. Yeah, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We know what we need to fix.
Yeah. Especially
find ways to hit the tight ends in there too. If it's not an ISO with Mike Evans or Julio on the outside, trips on one side, ISO on one, you would think it'd be an easy mismatch. But that's me playing, what's it called? Monday morning quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, like the weapons are there for offense. Defensively, this is massive for you guys to kind of salivate over how good this whole team can be, not just one side of the field. And consistently, like they were talking about with Leftwich, consistency in offense. We moved the ball consistently all throughout the game. There's no shit. No, we would move it.
Yeah.
And it was just sputtering inside the 20. I can deal with that as long as we're getting points on the board consistently, and the other team's like, shit, we're not doing anything. I like it. A lot of good things for me.
Yeah, no, it was just a good win. And again, this is not about getting style points. They got the job done, and going into Dallas isn't easy. Again, that's a tough place to play. It was really loud in there, and I believe it only had one false start penalty, which is great. We had two false starts, one by Cam Brate and one by Luke Gedeke. So, to get that done, and communication for the most part up front was on point. I thought Hainsey and Gedeke did their jobs. Shaq Mason looked like the real deal. Tristan Wirfs, again, stud, as always. And Donovan Smith was good until, unfortunately, he got the elbow injury. And Josh Wells did his job as far as run blocking. So got to give him credit there. I was just really impressed with a lot of like the new faces. Kate Otten, again, Co Keefe, they were all good. And I can't wait to see what happens as this team goes forward. And hopefully the injuries are not very serious and these guys can come back very soon. And can't wait to get ready for a big matchup, NFC South matchup against the New Orleans Saints in their house. And hopefully we can pull off a victory.
Yeah, I mean, that's next week. We'll talk about that later. But overall, I'm excited to be 1-0. I'm excited to the season start. We're winning. We know there's areas to improve on, but our defense we can literally lean on. Like that was an outstanding performance. I know people are like, they didn't have this guy, they didn't have that, the offensive line. It doesn't matter. Like overall, they have two superstars in Prescott and Elliott, and we kind of shut them down. They couldn't really do much of anything in their own house. They came here last year, they threw the ball all over the damn field. They couldn't do that this year. We kind of called them on their spot, and nothing worked. We know how to run the ball now. This is huge. Are we the Ravens? No, we're not going to be that. But the fact that we know that when we want to run the ball, we can. This offensive line is athletic enough to do that. I touched on that earlier. And it just shows that we're so much more well-balanced this year than we were in years past. The sequencing does need to get better. I want you to talk more on that too. The sequencing of the play call.
Yeah, sequencing could be better. You would like to see more first down runs mixed in with some play action. There's opportunities where they run the ball well on first down, and then they try to run it again on second down. So there needs to be some mix up with those play calls as far as run and pass ratio. But overall, again, it was a very nice job done. Just good execution up front when they were running the football. There's a couple of times where they did get stopped. There's that 3rd and 1 where, Lenny got tackled by DeMarcus Lawrence. Again, it was just a great play by him. Other than that, yeah, there was good things. And to get 150 yards or whatever I said it was, that's very impressive. And it allows you to play this type of game and win 19-3, which is still a very good win, a dominant win. You win by double digits in this league. That's hard to do. And to get that done shows a lot about this football team. And now you're 1-0 and got to prepare for the next one.
Hey, think about that. We're 1-0. We're undefeated. We're moving forward. Now we get to face the stinking Saints in New Orleans with Jameis at quarterback.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a trash talking week. Can't wait. Guys, bring all the shit. Bring all the trash talk you want. It's going to be ugly. But hopefully we're on top at the end. Either way, I'm happy with the success from week 1. And plus, I guess, any other last points or guys in the chat, let us know. Anything else you want us to talk about or touch on before we run out. If there's any injury status, we don't know anything of that. Todd Bowles, if you hear how he talks about Ryan Jensen or anyone, he's not really going to say much. So he's going to say report to the doctors. We don't know. He doesn't know. So we can't really answer on that. But bring up any other questions, or you have any other things you want to touch on?
No, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to say, be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate everyone in here. We appreciate all the comments, the support, the subscribes. Leave your comments below in this live stream. Let us know who you thought was the most impressive, who's the most disappointing. What are you looking for in next week's game against the Saints? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. And everyone have a great night. Buccaneers are 1-0. Also, very important announcement. Cobra Kai is freaking amazing. Go make sure you guys watch that. The latest season was probably the best ever. So I'm going to see if they can sponsor us, because that show is just it's freaking awesome. I can't support them enough. Everyone have a great night, and go Bucs, baby.